Hello everyone, this is your Unemployed Chef. For today's recipe, we'll be making some spicy, juicy firecracker salmon. So for today's recipe, you'll need 4 tablespoons of hot sauce, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of grated ginger, garlic to taste, you know my best friend garlic, black pepper to taste, as well as red chili flakes to taste. I did not show the ingredients on video, but of course I will give you the recipe description in the box below. The reason that being is because I actually made this marinade ahead of time. So you're going to take all those ingredients and create a marinade, and then you're going to baste your salmon fillets in the marinade and have them sit in the fridge for about 2 hours, or if you have time, overnight, so they can lock that marinade into their flesh. So let's get started. So right now I am going to take out my fillets, and as you can see, this is from after 2 hours of them sitting in the marinade in the fridge. Get those ready, and you want your oven to be set to 370. We're actually going to do 2 methods of cooking. We're going to first sear the salmon for about 2 to 3 minutes per side, and then we're going to finish off the salmon in the oven and baste it again with the marinade. And for that process, that'll be about 8 to 10 minutes, more or less, depending on the doneness of the fish. But 8 to 10 minutes is the ballpark you should be looking for. And you also want a cast iron skillet. I would say have it on a medium low heat. So right now I have it on 4. And as you know, again, cast iron skillets retain a lot of heat. And I'm able to sear my burger at this temperature, so I'm going to try to sear my salmon at this temperature. I just love a nice crispy fish skin. It doesn't matter what kind of fish it is, but especially if it's salmon skin, I go wild. So now I'm going to wait for my pan to heat up. And now we wait. I also want to note for my salmon fillets that I scored the flesh. Scoring is just a method used where you take a sharp knife and you make these marks in the skin, not all the way down so you don't pierce through the flesh, but just enough where it's about a third way through the flesh. This just ensures that the marinade soaks through the flesh a lot better, and also it helps the fish to cook a lot more evenly. So it's a win-win situation. And also for this recipe, make sure that you use an oven safe skillet. Don't use anything that's not safe for the oven. I don't want to be sued. We've been over this again. Don't use it. The beauty of cast irons is that they can be used on a stove and in the oven. And now I promise I'll shut up for now. Okay, my oil is hot, and now I'm going to put my salmon in skin down first, like so. And I'm going to cook it for 2 to 3 minutes per side. Three minutes on the clock. Go. And just like what I use for my burger recipe, I know my spatula, it has been gnawed. Okay. Well, anyway, just like my burger recipe, you want to use a spatula like this. It has a big enough surface area where you can get a lot more meat onto it. It's flexible enough so you can scrape the bottom of the pan so you can get the crust on the meat. as well as it's very, very durable, and you can use it in a pan like this. So you don't have to worry about scraping the coating of the pan, blah, blah, blah. So I do see some browning. My timer's off right here. So I can tell that my skin should be ready. I'm going to be very careful with this, so I keep the skin on and not off. Look at that. It's not perfect, but it is fine. And I'm going to do my second piece. I'm really struggling. Flip. Okay. And now I'm going to cook that for 3 minutes. This is the piece that you take a picture of and you put it in a magazine, put it up on your wall, on your poster. This one is, even though it tastes good, it doesn't look good enough to bring home, but that's a-okay. And you also want to make sure that when you're doing a recipe like this, you don't want to move it around too much, like what happened here and not this one. You just want to make sure that the crust stays onto the food. If you're constantly moving it, it won't develop the nice crust around it. And of course, you want to bake the salmon or cook the salmon in general. Doesn't matter if you bake it or sear it. You want to cook it until it flakes. My timer is off, and now the moment of truth. So I'm going to take it off the heat. And I'm going to carefully flip the other side. I am so graceful. And voila, that is the salmon. Hopefully I redeem myself for this piece. And there you go, beautiful juicy salmon. And now I'm going to baste them again with my marinade. So by now your oven should be at 370. And since they look like this, I would cook them for another 8 minutes. Luckily I don't have to worry about them drying out too much because they have been marinating for a long time. Baste like so. Cover every inch and corner. And now they go into the oven. I usually prefer to put my food on the bottom rack because I am able to see the cooking process a lot better than if it's up top. And we're going to just set that in. And you know what? I'm going to keep them in the oven for 10 minutes. I want to make sure that the skillet reaches the temperature of the oven. 10 minutes on a clock. Go. So my Firecracker Salmon has a very nice red color, so I'm going to take it out now. Yummy. Last but not least, some blood pressure. And there you have it, folks. Some beautiful Firecracker Salmon. It pairs perfectly with some chopped green onions, as you see here. I hope everyone liked this video. Don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, complain. As always, the recipe will be in the description box below. This is your Unemployed chef, and always chase that yum.